Hello to my wonderful patrons and the people who waited a year. We're doing the Record It Without a Topic episode, but it is also the I'm moving this week episode. Just got all my shit out of the old place. Don't quite have all my shit into the new place. So the home studio, totally broken down. I got to do this on the fly. Uploaded on an iPad at a friend's house. You'll see how that comes into play in a little bit. And yeah, the winning gimmick is Record It Without a Topic, which you'll see why that's tricky in a little bit. But let's get this show on the side of the road here. I'll probably have to find a new parking spot because I'm at said friend's house to do the upload. Oh, oops, got to think of an opening line. This one's a little different, but then aren't they all?
Oh, Garbuda is a mighty beast. I've loved him from the start. They say he lives inside a lake, but his home is in my heart. The zealots say to try their God, but you know I simply can't. Cause Garbuda is the one for me unless you've got a grant. My car broke down and I went into debt. I've been paying and paying, but I ain't done yet. You can pay for a topic or vote on a gimmick. Anything can happen, so come on and get with it. It's my car cast, hosted by Bear Claw Billy.
You're listening to Fix My Car Cast, hosted by Bear Claw Billy, and this is episode 139, recorded very lo-fi. Comedian and musician Keith Hebert has nothing to contribute to the show, but first, housekeeping. This is the show where you pick what I say and how I say it. Pick a topic or prompt by donating to GoFundMe, and vote on the gimmick by joining my Patreon for just $1 a month. Join at the $5 or higher level and also get bonus episodes and behind-the-scenes footage. Links are in the description. Also down there, merch. Get yourself some merch. Can't think of anything to say about the merch. No, well. We have a new donor this week. Thank you, Sadie, for donating $10. The total raised for paying off my car repair debt is now $2,322. Also, when we get to $3,000, it unlocks an automatic show gimmick, which is, I will record an episode at sea. Fun fact, did you know that this whole podcast disappears when we hit $10,000? I'll never discuss a topic again. Hey, do you like the theme song? No? Well, if you make a donation of $50 or more, in addition to picking an episode topic, you get to change one thing about the theme song forever. Unless somebody else changes it back. Want me to remove it from the show entirely? I'll do it. $50. That was always an option. The show could have no theme song. $50. Also, if you would like to own the painting I made in episode 118, I'll be giving it away to the next person who donates $100 or more. That's right, own a piece of Fix My Car Cast history while you still can. If you'd like to see the painting before you buy it, it can be viewed in the raw video version of episode 118 over on Patreon. Link in the description. The painting is in a box in someone's house. I'm moving this week. I don't know. It's out there, folks. But you pay that $100, you will win it. No new patrons this week. Bummer. Now it's time for a topic suggestion. I'll suggest topics I think I could easily talk about for a whole episode, though admittedly, I think the show is more fun when it's something I'm completely clueless about. So, something I could talk about is the time I was knocked unconscious. I promise it's a hell of a story. Want to know more? Donate today. checking in on the best city in the world based on which city listened to the last episode the most, and we've got us another singles night tie. Ties are broken by whichever city listened to the most episodes, and our big winner is Westbrook, Maine. Congratulations, Westbrook, Maine. Let it be known that your horse museum, dirt farm, and cotton candy emporium are the best in the world for 7 days. It says improvise 3 things. Oh, I get it, because, there's no topic. Last episode, I talked about Hearst Springs, Texas, while slapping myself 10 times. This show makes sense. You can see video of all the raw footage, plus a little extra, over on Patreon. Also, head over to Patreon for a bonus episode where I talk about all the Alien sequels I hadn't seen until now, which I'll let you know is Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, and Aliens vs. Predator: Requiem. Okay, let's talk next week's gimmick poll. If you're watching the video version, this is my homage to Requiem because it's so dark. And if you're not watching the video version, what's wrong with you? Okay, let's talk next week's gimmick poll. These are your choices for next week's episode gimmick. They are talk at double speed, swap the regular and bonus episodes, do it like a manifesto, and our returning gimmick, do it like a dating game show. Let's recap. That's number 1, talk at double speed. I had an episode where I talked at half speed. This time I have to talk at double speed. So if you play it at 0.5, it'll sound normal. I don't know. I'm up for the challenge, though. Number 2, swap the regular and bonus episodes. That's right. I will record the regular episode like normal. I will record the bonus episode like normal, but I will swap which one gets uploaded which place. That's right. You can hear a bonus episode for free, and you can also pay for a regular episode. Number 3, do it like a manifesto. I don't know about what, probably whatever the topic ends up being that week, but I will do it like a manifesto. So a nutty set of ideas that I think would make the world the best place. And our returning gimmick, number 4, do it like a dating game show. That's right. Now, I haven't specified the era because dating game shows have been wildly different throughout history, but I think you probably know where my heart lies. I didn't change the date on this one. Remember that any gimmick that gets just a single vote is eligible for a second chance in 6 weeks. Be sure to vote over on Patreon. The poll closes Thursday. Folks, this is why you got to check your scripts. Thursday, September 5th at noon Eastern America time. All right, time for today's gimmick, which is record it without a topic. Of course, gimmicks don't start until housekeeping is out of the way in case any of them prevent me from sharing vital information. But now, we are entering the gimmick zone. From this point on, gimmicks are active and everything is improvised. Today's topic comes to us from Sadie for $10, and I've been asked to talk about... I can't tell you. Yeah. So, right off the bat, Sadie gave me a topic. Hadn't had any donors for several weeks, so I figured it would be safe to do an episode without a topic. What fun. I'll just have to improvise what I want to talk about. Not the first time it's happened on the show. If you listen way back to the first 30 where I'm just walking to work, or the first 20, I guess. Eventually the car got back to working order. Let me tell you folks, right now it is thinking about not doing that. Really would love your donations right now. I am screwed. But when am I not? So yeah, Sadie gave me a topic. Now I do want you to know, at the time that Sadie donated, Do It Without a Topic was in a commanding lead on the poll. So I felt like I had to tell Sadie up front, like, hey, just so you know, I might not even talk about what you want me to talk about this week. And I felt bad, and I thought, well, maybe I can save Sadie's for next week. But here's the thing, folks. I didn't do that for Tara. That's right. Tara donated also at a time when I wasn't getting a lot of donations, and the winning gimmick was lie about the topic. So Tara asked me to review an album, and I had to completely lie about it and talk about some other album entirely. So I felt bad about that, and I thought maybe Tara should get another topic. And then I felt bad about this, and I thought maybe Sadie should get another chance at a topic. But that's not fair to Tara, is it? So, Sadie, thanks for taking one for the team. I asked Sadie if it was okay that even though, I got a donation, they would not get to pick a topic, essentially. So there's that. Again, thank you so much for your donation, Sadie. But I'm not going to talk about what you want me to talk about. Now, should I reveal what Sadie asked me to talk about? Yes, on the bonus episode, because I got to get your money somehow, because I need money, which is also not what I want to talk about today. But truth be told, I don't know what I want to talk about today. I really did try to go into this cold. Again, I am not going to reveal what Sadie's topic was here, but I will say it was general enough that to not talk about it is going to be very difficult. And I will admit, on the drive to where I am now, where I am recording this podcast, it was a real struggle. I was like, I don't want to pre-plan anything. Like, I should let it go. I mean, if I had an idea for what I wanted to talk about, isn't that the topic itself? I also don't want this whole episode to be meta. So I have something I'm going to talk about. I feel like on the 10-minute drive here going, this is something I could talk about that does not fit Sadie's topic. I think that counts. So I am going in ignoring the topic, but I did finally settle on something I can talk about. And that is, I might become a trucker. I know. Fix my truck cast. We're not there yet, folks. So that's what I want to talk about. And I'm going to see... Oh, yeah, no, that's not. Sorry, just moving a lighting source because we're making the show on the cheap this week, folks. You may have noticed the gimmicks have gotten really whittled down to not interesting at all. They're all going to be improv based for a bit because I'm poor as shit again, which I don't want to talk about, but also ties into what I want to talk about, which is I might become a trucker. Let me set the scene. Let me tell you the story. So, I'm working for the Secret Fireman in Akron, Ohio, Maine. I am moving out of Akron, Ohio, Maine. Folks, I'm so tired of moving. I don't even want to reveal where I'm moving to because I'm sure next week they'll sell the fucking building, which I also don't want to talk about right now. But things are bleak, folks. But I'm going to talk about something that could make them less bleak. So I'm working for the Secret Fireman, depressurizing and degaussing and demagnetizing all the equipment that the Secret Firemen use, and it's back-breaking work. It's really tough. A lot of heavy stuff. It really hurts. I don't know how long I can do it, to be completely honest. Both the physical nature of it and also just I get a weird feeling in Akron, Ohio, Maine. I'm really glad that I will not be living there. I still have to commute there. If the car keeps working, which it's really threatening not to, folks. Making a lot of noises. Donations, please, if you can. But I'm hoping I won't have to beg for donations forever. Can you imagine me doing this show just because it's fun? Could happen if I finally get out of this financial crisis that I'm in. And this might be my way out, folks. I might become a trucker. So I'll be honest, not a lot of people at the Secret Fire Department are very chatty, but I got a new coworker this week. I've only been there for like 4 weeks, and they were like, "Hey, show the new guy the ropes," and I was like, "Okay." Even though I barely know fucking anything, so full of questions that I couldn't answer. He has no idea I have a podcast. I didn't talk to him about bringing this up on the show, so I feel like in good conscience I can't even give him an alias. I don't want to give his real name. So yeah, sorry, it's just going to have to be work friend. We literally met last week. So, we'll see how things progress. Who knows? Maybe he'll be on the show someday. I don't know. I don't know where any of this is going. And that's the point this week, isn't it? So chit-chatting with him and asking about like how he got into this job himself. Said, he was looking at the sky one night, and next thing you knew, he had a job at the Secret Fireman's Department. I'm like, okay, I just applied. But we get to talking, and I'm like, so do you plan on doing this job forever? And that's when he said, no, I think I want to drive a truck. And I'm like, oh, wow. Cool. Like, just neato, man. Like, not a thing I would ever think of. And then, like, I'm working, I'm getting all the kinks out of the hose. That's a very different sentence if you spell it differently. Not going to be the title, but damn. Yeah, just kind of mentions that, like, he has his sights set on, like, starting his own business someday. But for starters, being a trucker sounds really good. And I'm like, yeah, it does sound really good. That is a line of work that I have never, ever considered for myself. And I'm like, oh, yeah, a lot of long nights. I hear about all the peeing in bottles and how lonely it can be, even though I really prefer working alone. Which is no shade whatsoever to my coworker, who seems like a pretty rad dude and the only person who's been nice to me at this whole job. Gosh, I wonder if he'll find out that I'm talking about him on my show. Maybe someday. I don't know. We'll see how good of a friend he is. Anyway, yeah, so we just been like chit-chatting and he just seems like real motivated. And so I'm just like, yeah, driving a truck. Yeah, it could be good. I don't really know much about trucks or vehicles or how highways work, but they got to have GPSs, right? Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine. So I start looking into it. I start looking into like how you get your license. Folks, I got to say, it looks like, yeah, you do some studying, they give you the test, and then you're off to the races. And then I looked up like what the average salary is. And folks, I'm going to confess something right now. I have no idea what a lot of money per year is. Whenever people are like, yeah, 30K, 50K, 100K, 10K, I'm like, that's not a fucking tangible number that I can understand. I've always been, paycheck to paycheck. I've always been an hourly worker. So like, I genuinely can't fathom those numbers. Whenever I'm filling out any kind of questionnaire that's like, oh, how much do you make? I'm like, fuck if I know. I truly, it's just one of those things that I've never been able to wrap my head around in terms of like, this is a good amount of money. I know 6 figures is really good, but like, So I will simply say I looked up what truckers make on average, and it meant nothing to me. But then I divided it by 52, and I was like, holy fucking hell. It was like double what I've made at my best paying job for a 2-week paycheck. In 1 week, I could be making double what I normally made in 2 weeks, and my jaw hit the floor. So, folks, I might become a trucker. I might be trucking. Who knows? this podcast could go on the road, because guess what? What am I going to do while a moth the size of fucking Mothra just landed on my windshield. Anyway, yeah, I could become a trucker. And I'm seriously considering it. I'm going to look into it. I'm going to ask around. I'm going to talk to I have a friend who did it. He's actually, oh yeah, well, okay, you're not supposed to get a laugh with someone else's joke. Not going to do the bit, but I have a friend who drove a truck for a bit, backed over a mailbox, and, that was that. So I was like, yeah, I can be okay with backing over a mailbox. You know, not a child, but I could back over a mailbox, which I don't think you're supposed to say when they give you the test. But yeah. Yeah, and I just been thinking about it, and I started looking online about like stories of being a trucker, and it's like, yeah, the hours are kind of hell. Also, the one that I was looking at, you have to sign a contract for 2 years. There are companies that will basically pay to train you at no cost to you, but the catch is you have to sign a 2-year contract. So you can't get a month into it and go, I don't like this. But like, with the paycheck I'd be getting, you can shit in my mouth for the amount of money. Did I ever say what the money actually shook out to? I think it was like $2,000 a week. And I was like, holy shit. And like, I remember them saying the K number, and it was bigger than what the average, according to Google's AI thing that burns a bunch of fucking rainforests or whatever, just to tell you a worse version of the right answer. Anyway, yeah, I might do this, folks. I'm not saying that like I'm signing up tomorrow, but like I'm going to look into it. And one of the reasons I'm staying on this topic in particular is, number one, it doesn't clash with Sadie's topic request, which cast a very wide net. And again, if you listen to the bonus episode and you find out what that topic is, I think you'll agree, oh, yes, this could not be further from the topic because reasons. What a tease. Go sign up for the Patreon. If you feel like it. I mean, if you can afford it. I mean, who can afford anything these days? But anyway, go sign up for the Patreon. It costs what Dropout costs, but you only get one show. And some behind the scenes about the show. And you get to command me. Yeah, $5 a month. You get to make me do not a topic or whatever I'm going to do next week, which is talk at double speed or swap the regular and bonus episodes or do it like a manifesto or do it like a dating game show. By the way, found out that internet will probably not be set up next week. So, got to find another way to do the show without friggin' internet, which I have to go upload this at my friend's house because, oh shit, sometimes at the top of the video version I explain like what's going on in my life, and you probably don't know that. Did I mention that I'm moving? Probably. I don't know. Let's get back to trucking. One of the first thoughts that went through my mind is, oh my gosh, the song Truck Driving Song by Weird Al Yankovic, which I can't talk about too much, could finally be a reality. If you've never heard that song, give it a listen. I know the people that listen to my show are Weird Al fans because it's still the Weird Al episode of this show is still my highest rated because I'm tacky. Go check it out. People love that one because Weird Al. I'm fully convinced at this point it has I have no part of that equation. It's just because Weird Al is in it. Didn't work for Taylor Swift, but in fairness, the Weird Al one was like a little game and it gave you something to enjoy. The Taylor Swift one was the most, this is not fun for anyone. So the Swifties didn't find me, but hey, sponsor me to talk about Taylor Swift, because I want to get on their radar. I want them to love me, hate me, I don't care, just as long as they listen to the show. Because in case you haven't noticed, I'm desperate, because I'm thinking peeing in bottles and being lonely all day is a great career choice for me. But I don't know. if anything is going to keep me from trucking, I think it's going to be failing the test. Like, I don't know. I feel like I test well. I did take 4 tries to get my driver's test, but in fairness, you don't know my mom. Wait, if you've listened to the bonus episodes, you do know my mom. Love you, Mom, but you were the worst driving instructor anyone could ever have. Could not let you do anything for yourself. Just dictated the whole time what to do. And it's like, I'm not learning. I'm just doing what you tell me the whole time. Love you, Mom, but boy, did you make learning how to drive the worst. Yeah, it took me 4 tries, and hindsight being 2020, probably some reasons why learning was difficult for me. But we won't get into that right now, folks. But maybe if I'm making that trucker money, I can finally afford that autism diagnosis money. Or maybe, hear me out, that trans surgery money. Whoa, here's where we go when we don't have a topic, folks. Fuck it. I'll rip this Band-Aid. The reason I have a GoFundMe to get me out of car repair debt is because I'd really like to start a GoFundMe for transitioning or an art project, but I would not feel right making GoFundMes for either of those things because my survival comes first. I don't know if I've ever admitted that on the show before, but I've seen stories of people doing like GoFundMes for, excuse me, medical reasons, transitions, etc., and then using the money for other things. So I would not feel good about that because if I started a transition fund, I'd love to get laser hair removal. I hate this shit. Sorry if you're audio only version, my facial hair. I fucking hate this shit. But now I can only shave on the weekends because my fingers are so mangled and gnarled from my secret fireman job, which I had to get because they'll take anybody. No questions asked. There was one question. They asked how many eyes you have, which I'm like, what? That's a fucking easy question. Answered 2, and that was the only question. I was waiting for more questions, and that was it. So yeah, I don't want facial hair. I would like to, mix up what I got going on downstairs. But also I'm a realist about the fact that I'm never going to fucking afford that ever. This is how deep and introspective we get when there's no topic. Oh, it's a fan favorite episode because it's so introspective and interactive. Anyway, I might be a trucker. Truck driving song by Weird Al Yankovic. Driving a truck with my high heels on. Folks, I want to be that trans trucker. I want to do it. God fucking damn it. If being a trucker can finally get me out of debt and pay for that surgery, I'm going to be a fucking trucker. So yeah, that's what I got. That's what I got going on in my life right now. I am considering becoming a professional truck driver. Yeah, you're a professional if you have your license and you've signed a contract. Sounds pretty professional to me. Yeah, I'm never good in hiring situations. I tend to either do a character, and then when I get the job, they're like, "Oh, you're not the character we hired," and it's like, "Yeah, no fucking shit. I just need the job." Is that a TISM thing or an everybody thing? I think so. Anyway, yeah, I would like to get an autism diagnosis, and I would like to get a vagina. But yeah, I'll admit it, being as poor as I am and my entire life getting used to not having anything you want, that seems like such a faraway dream that it's just never ever gonna happen. So it's a thing I don't bring up often, but if you're familiar with the trans test, and I realize some of this is bumping up against the topic that Sadie wanted me to talk about, maybe I'm dulling that topic because of how poor I am. There we go. Made it work. I never want this show to be depressing, but guess what? Life's depressing, folks. Life's depressing. But you just gotta keep kicking. You got to make a dumb YouTube series where you watch all of Game of Thrones in a week to pay your rent. And sell t-shirts based off of it that nobody buys because nobody watched it. You've got to keep trying and failing. And sometimes you've got to make stupid art. And people will support that stupid art. And I've got to say right now, I'm sure it's come up on other episodes, but like this show has saved me from disaster. Like, yes, it is to pay off my car repair debt, but really it is to keep me from maxing the credit card that I had to use to pay my car repair debt, to pay my rent in a pandemic. Yeah, at the end of the day, I kind of want to be like, hey, that was the thing. The few people that do talk to me at my secret fireman job, they all have the same story. The pandemic hit and they had to pay their rents and pay their mortgages with credit cards. Like, we're all there. We're all there. You know, when I used to work as a builder, like that place was sleek and clean and corporate as hell. And I gotta say, I really enjoy working, you know, in the secret fireman station and being around people who are struggling like me. Like, I can't go down this road because it kind of bumps up against Sadie's topic. So I'm guess I'm gonna have to leave it there. But people are struggling. I'm struggling. You're probably struggling, or maybe you're not. I don't know. I don't know you, but nevertheless, keep trying. Don't give up hope. And one day you can be a trans trucker like me. As always, it's time to put that hammer down. Which I think is a trucking term. But again, with the wrong context. Sounds like you're asking someone not to murder you with a hammer. Anyway, folks, that was fun. Maybe I should do more without topics. But it's only going to happen once. No repeats on Fix My Car Cast. Even though I think Talk at Double Speed is one that I used to do. The more you donate, the more I get out of debt, the more I can have a staff, and the more I can like breathe and take time to make like a production Bible for this show. Because boy, do I forget things. I've redone gimmicks all the time because like 3 of them get like just thrown away if they don't get votes. So like I have to come up with all these gimmicks that I know full stop could disappear forever. So anyway, I gotta go hang out with my friend. It's been real nice talking to you. You'll see me next week, I promise. Okay? Keep on trucking. That's how I should have ended. Oh well!